Kyle's Beverly Hills bubble left her clueless that her reunion accusation that Garcelle never fulfilled her charity donation had racist undertones. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is off to a pretty relaxed start this season with a girls' trip to Lake Tahoe. However, several cast members are already in hot water for their lapses in judgment regarding racism and social justice issues. In episode 2, Garcelle Beauvais confronted Kyle Richards about her accusation that Garcelle never fulfilled her promised donation from Kyle's charity event. While Garcelle did end up donating after the reunion, she was not happy with Kyle. Garcelle was sure to let Kyle know that there is a painful and unfair legacy of white people accusing black people of being cheap. She asked Kyle if she would have thrown such an accusation if she was speaking to a white woman, to which a stunned Kyle told Garcelle she doesn't have any issues with her. Garcelle said, "I don't think you realize the effect it has on me as a black woman. There are stereotypes that people think we don't pay for our rent, that we don't tip." Kyle answered, "I would never even think about that," to which Garcelle replied that she wouldn't have to think about it because it's not a reality she has to live. Kyle Richards has been on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for over 10 years, with her husband building a billion-dollar real estate company simultaneously. With a start as a child actress, a sister in Kathy Hilton, and a popular RTQBH husband who has access to luxury properties all over the world at the drop of a hat, it's not hard to see why Kyle has been blissfully unaware of the hoops black people must jump through to be successful. In Garcelle's interview, she tells producers that it's not just Kyle who has been living in a glittery vacuum. She said, "Everyone in Beverly Hills is in their own little bubble. Where did you get that handbag? Where did you get that jewelry? But not once has anyone asked me, what's it like being a black woman in Hollywood, and sometimes that makes me feel like an outsider." The hesitance to integrate Real Housewives cast members until the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement during the COVID-19 pandemic is coming off as too little too late, especially for franchise cast members like Garcelle, Ebony Williams, Tiffany Moon, and Crystal Kung Minkoff, who were airdropped into predominantly white casts to address crises of identity politics across the country. Garcelle explains further why Kyle's accusation about the donation stings differently as a black woman. She said, "I was in a restaurant, and they weren't serving me. When she finally got her meal, she had to weigh the pros and cons of tipping or not tipping at risk of falling into a racist stereotype." Despite Kyle's efforts to listen and reflect, saying she appreciated Garcelle's willingness to share, her interview commentary seems to indicate she still hasn't gotten the message. Kyle said, "Even though I didn't mean it like that, I can understand now why she unfollowed me on Instagram, and I have a much better understanding of who she is and where she comes from." The fact that Kyle is hung up on being unfollowed on Instagram rather than making a statement about her own ignorance reinforces how misaligned her perspective and priorities can be from years in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills bubble. She also laments her sleepless nights spent rolling over the conversation. Sadly, some people tend to cling to self-victimization rather than confront racism head-on, emphasizing how these issues affect oppressed people rather than themselves. While they were making jokes about Garcelle's new trainer by the end of lunch, the reality is that this shouldn't have been Kyle's first time learning about these issues, and it's shocking that it is.